Hello guys, how are we all doing? Oh, let me know because today we will get some economic data again. It's been a long time ever since we have had some economic data, but now we are about to get it again. And of course, it has been a long time due to the government shutdown that has been happening. A lot of economic data hasn't been getting released because the government is simply just basically not working. But right now, the US CPI report for September will be released today in half an hour time approximately, regardless of the government shutdown. And yeah, I do think that this will be causing some volatility. Now, we will be going over the expectations first about the results that we may see, about the possible scenarios for Bitcoin. Then I'll have a look into some more general analysis for Bitcoin. Then we will answer some questions, and probably by the time we will be ready to have a look into the actual final results of the actual data for today. So yeah, we'll get very interesting for today. Let me know who is all here in the live chat. And also make sure to push up that like button. That would really be appreciated if you all can do that. So with that being said, let's have a look into the actual things that might happen today during this during the CPI report that will come out. First things first. Well, we will need to have a look into trueflation because trueflation usually always kind of already estimates what it might be. It's like the like how the normal calculations are run, not how the US calculations are run to get these actual inflation numbers. But definitely, if we have a look into trueflation, we can actually see that inflation has been actually kind of rising. And definitely, if we have a look into month over month, well, this last month, we have been rising, right? So month over month, we are definitely rising. If we have a look into the expectations now and the consensus, you can have a look into the core inflation rate here, year over year. It's expected the previous one was 3.1%. Right now, it's expected to come around 3.1% to 3%. Okay, so it's expected to come in a little bit lower than the last core inflation rate. And if we have a look into the normal inflation rate year over year, which is the one from trueflation, well, it is expected to come in a little bit higher. So yeah, let me take a sip of water. So yeah, that one is expected to come in a little bit higher, but if we have a look into the trueflation, it definitely did jump a lot higher from 2.04% to 2% approximately to about 2.3%. And on top of that, combined with the fact that usually after these government shutdowns, or usually this data doesn't come in very accurate, okay? It might come in, but not very accurate. Might not come in very accurate like the actual numbers. Well, I think we might be in for a surprise. Now, let's have a look into the actual data, what the actual data will be. Definitely, if it will come in lower than expected, again, we might see a big push to the upside. So if it comes in lower for the core inflation rate, lower anywhere, but I'm sorry about that, lower than 3.3%, and for the inflation rate, if it comes in any lower than also 3%. So both of these numbers lower than 3%, well, that is going to be bullish, and we can definitely expect a push to the upside for the crypto markets. Now, this morning we have been having a look into a new market update video, and yes, indeed, I do believe that Bitcoin is just consolidating sideways over here inside of this consolidation, and definitely I do think that either a break to the upside is going to be expected, or a break to the downside in either direction, right? We don't know the direction of the breakout yet. However, definitely, I think this breakout is going to be inevitable within next week. I do not think we are going to be seeing the breakout yet right now. However, definitely, we could be up for some surprises. If we are going to be seeing some insane data coming in, well, then obviously, we can be seeing and we could expect a big breakout as well. Um, so yeah, we could be expecting a breakout over here. Let's see. Let me know in the comments down below what you think about this. Do you think we're going to be seeing a volatile day today with our inflation rate? I simply do not think so, except from the fact that if we're going to be seeing some surprising inflation data, well then we could see a lot of volatility. Okay, I'm not saying we will. I'm just saying we could. Now, having a look into our trade, for example, on Ethereum is behaving pretty nicely in my personal opinion. We are trading below this level of resistance, this downtrending level of resistance, and we are also getting squeezed up on the Ethereum price action like we can see right over here. Now, I just think that we are trading inside of a bigger range right over here, and we can easily, for Ethereum as well, break to the upside, especially given the fact that in this last part of the cycle, where I think Bitcoin might have already been topped out, we could still see Ethereum making new highs, and we can still see Ethereum making new all-time highs and still pushing to the upside, while Bitcoin might push for a lower high. So yeah, I think that Ethereum is stronger in this part of the cycle than Bitcoin. So that is why I am in this Ethereum trade, and that is why I do think that Ethereum can be pushing even further to the upside over here, at least to the 4.3k level, but definitely I do still expect new highs for Ethereum, honestly. But we just need to have the right market environment, and I definitely do think that in the coming week, we're going to be seeing that right market environment, because in 5 days time we will be seeing the FOMC meeting, and during this FOMC meeting, well, yesterday we have had some interesting news that JP Morgan is going to expect that QT is going to be ending. Okay, let me load up the news now. Oh, right there. So JP Morgan expects the Fed to end quantitative tightening by next week. And this is going to be extremely bullish for crypto, because majority of the people that have been bearish on an old season during this entire cycle, right? And frankly, they have been right in the end of the day, but they have been bearish on an altcoin season because of QT, because money was literally getting tightened by the Fed during the entirety of this cycle. So right now this is going to be getting invalidated for them. If indeed QT is going to be ending, I definitely do see a potential setup coming in for Ethereum to still enter price discovery, while Bitcoin is going to be lagging behind slightly in this last part of the cycle. So that could be a very bullish catalyst we might start to have a look into in 5 days. Also, there's this very important chart that I've shared this morning about CPI inflations, and the last few times we have seen CPI JP Morgan also allowed Bitcoin and Ethereum as collateral. This is also massively bullish, but usually we almost always bump into CPI and then dump afterwards after it gets released. And right now we're seeing a pump again leading into this CPI event. So let's see, what do you guys think? Are we gonna see a dump right after again? I mean, we have been seeing that the last few times. Are we going to be seeing that again? I'm not sure. But if we might be seeing something similar, that might just be indicating that we're going to be seeing a bit of further pump, right? And just further consolidation, probably inside of this symmetrical triangle pattern. Probably. It's not anything all too big in my opinion, but based on history, well, we usually tend to just consolidate sideways or go down a little bit further, right? And yeah, Cyberhawk is also saying probably a bit of a dump, yeah. John Cena is saying DCA for sure. If you're dollar cost averaging, that's always the way to go. Insider with 100% win rate went long just now, or when did they go long? Yeah, I thought that without the economic data, there might be less volatility, but it's been a rough few weeks. Definitely agreed. Agreed. We have seen a lot of volatility right now with the government shutdown. Indeed. I mean, also because it's just some uncertainty, right? It's just some big uncertainty. Money markets should flow into Bitcoin and ETFs once QE and rate cutting ramps up. Yeah, 100%. It's not that QE is going to be starting yet. It's just that QT is going to be ending. I think QE, quantitative easing, is only going to be starting whenever we will see a big economic collapse somewhere, right? For example, a recession or anything like that. And then quantitative easing is going to be starting again. And then we can see a very nice rally to the upside for all money markets. Not right now yet. Okay. What time is the report? The report will be in 15 minutes from now exactly. So yeah, for my time it's 4:30 p.m. UTC +4 Dubai time. Central European time, it's 2:30 p.m. and then Eastern time, it is 2 or 9:30 a.m. Like you can see right over here. So yeah, it is going to be exciting to watch this. I mean, let me put up a quick poll. Start a poll. Will the CPI be bullish or bearish? Bullish or bearish? Let me know in the poll. What do you guys expect? Will it be bullish or bearish? I mean, and anything below 3% for both core and normal CPI is going to be bullish. Anything below, but anything above 3%, I think would be considered bearish. And statistically, it's been bearish more often than it has been bullish. Yeah, QT ending is not the same as QE starting. Indeed, the Fed can just stop quantitative tightening, but not start quantitative easing, right? Just be flatlined and be prepared for when they need to start easing. But definitely already ending quantitative tightening, that's already going to be bullish for money markets. So I'm always bullish. Let's go, man. In the long run, well, if you're always bullish, right? In the long run, you're always right eventually. Because look at the trend for Bitcoin. Like in the long term, it's always been going up. It's always been going up. Yes, there's been massive crashes, right? But if you've just been bullish throughout the crashes, in the long term, you've always recovered. Okay, even though I do expect that we might enter a bear market here, we might. Okay, we also may not. Okay, because we are still trading below, above the 50 weekly moving average. Well, even though we might get this crash, if you're just gonna stick being bullish throughout this entire crash, eventually you're gonna be right, and eventually we will see another bull market, and yeah, you're gonna be making a lot of money again. Same goes with gold, even. Same goes with gold, the stock market. I mean, if we load up gold, if you have a look into the monthly time frame, if you've just been bullish through the entire time, if you've been bullish here, you've been right. If you've been bullish here, you've been right. If you've been bullish here, you've been right. Okay, probably if we enter another long consolidation, if you're just bullish, then you're probably going to be right again in another 10 years, right? Same goes with the stock market. If you're just bullish, right? If you're bullish here, you were right. If you're bullish here during the massive crash, right? Massive crash. You were right. You were right if you were bullish here. You were right if you were bullish in this big, at the time, bear market here. So, yeah, it's always that case. It's always that case. In the long term, if you're bullish on any market, well, you're right. You are right. So, yeah. Same will happen with Bitcoin. Same will happen with Bitcoin. If you're just bullish all the way through, even if we might enter a big bear market, right? I don't think that's gonna happen at all. But if you're just gonna stick being bullish, if all the fundamentals are still good on Bitcoin, well, eventually you will see another big bull market again, right? So yeah, DCA always wins eventually. Yeah, sometimes you'll need to wait literally 10 years on some certain assets, right? But in the long term, you're always going to be right if you're bullish. So we've got the votes, and actually 67% think that the CPI will be bullish, and 33% expects that the CPI will be bearish. Let's see. I mean, through inflation, the data is not there to support the fact that it's going to be bullish. Also, history doesn't support the fact that it's going to be bullish. So let's see. Let's see. I'd like to be hopeful always. I'd like to be optimistic always. But let's see what the actual data will be in 10 minutes time. Will be interesting to watch. Anyways, make sure, guys, to push up that like button. And also, if you have any questions for me, make sure to ask it in the live chat right now, because I'll be going over some nice, juicy questions right now. Hello, Mr. Crypto. Are you in Dubai or the Netherlands? I'm now in Dubai. I'm in Dubai. It's lovely again. It's lovely. Absolutely great here. I might go into the Netherlands again in some time, but it's just gonna be for a few days. Back and forth, probably. Do you think Bitcoin fake pumps out the range to 118? And does a bearish fair value gap fill, then dumps 25%? I mean, in my opinion, where is the chat? Where's the chat gone? Where did I put the chat? Maybe let's reload. Oh, there we go. There we go. We have the chat back. No, but do you think Bitcoin fakes out pumps to 118? I mean, we could see that 118 is all the way up here, okay? And then you think we're gonna dump back to the downside again. I mean, it could happen, but in my opinion, if we break back above the 113, I think pretty realistic and safe to say that we're gonna remain to be bullish. I mean, the only reason why I would expect that would be in the case of this happening, right? With just a lower high for this cycle. than entering a bear market. But in my opinion, I would rather, if that would happen, I mean, we could see that, but I would rather have a look into a wick to 115, right? And still close below the bear and bull market support band and then get a rejection. If we close above the 113, I would like to be optimistic about new all-time highs still. But it depends a lot, right? If we run above the 113, really the news is going to be very important. For example, if we get a lot of extremely bullish news, but prices are unable to push much higher, well, that's going to be very bearish. But if we do not get a lot of very bullish news and prices are just skyrocketing, well, we have got more power left. By the way, we are about to get the data in 6 minutes, so that's absolutely lovely. Bull run will be the start after closing one weekly candle. You mean bull run will be start after closing the weekly candle? I think the weekly candle doesn't look that bad. It's only if we close below the 50 weekly moving average, then it will look very bad for the cycle, right? Press the thumbs up, definitely do it. By the way, let me also share the stream in the Platinum group. Go to the chat. CPI data releasing 5 minutes. Let's go. By the way, the Platinum group is free to join with that first link down below. So make sure to check it out if you're interested in that. I'll share all of my trades in absolute real time, what I'm thinking about the markets in real time. So make sure to check that one out. Anyways, I'll quickly go over the data again, what we're looking out for, what we want to see. Basically, for the core inflation rate, anything below 3.1%, 3%. So basically below the 3% is going to be bullish. And then anything above 3%, so 3.1%, 3.2%, etc., is going to be bearish. Now, for the inflation rate, pretty much the exact same thing, okay? The consensus is the same, 3.1%, and the forecast is the same, 3%, right? So that's basically the same. Anything below 3% is going to be bullish. Anything above 3% is going to be bearish. 3% itself is going to be a nothing burger, and we might see a slight pump because the trend to the upside is slightly to the upside in a shorter time frame. Now, what you want to do to get the data the first on everybody, I mean, first of all, the price itself on the shorter time frames really reflect what the data is going to be. You cannot be quicker than the price itself. However, you can definitely anticipate on it, because usually whenever you see like a big difference in CPI, so if it would come in at 2.7%, well, then you're going to see an initial pump, and after that, probably a continuation. So it will be very important to have a look into the actual data, and you might even be trading that based on the news. What you want to do is go over on X. You want to follow Mr. Crypto, obviously, because usually I share it very quickly of all of the guys on X. Then you also want to follow Financial Juice. And of course, turn on your notifications for all of these accounts, because then you can just load up your phone and you can have a look into the data and be the quickest to know, right? So load up your phone, turn on your notifications for all of these guys. Also for Zoomer. So Zoomer Fight. And then also for Tree News. So 3 news feed, and then just open up your home tab, following tab, and your notifications, and then refresh the following tab, and you open up your notifications and open up the price chart, and then you'll be the first one to know. Okay, that's how you do it. Again, anything below 3% is going to be bullish. Anything above 3% is going to be bearish. Now make sure to push up the like button because that brings more good luck. I mean, I've heard it first from Jerome Powell. He has told it to me before. If you push up the like button to Mr. Crypto stream, right now we're having 37 likes. Well, if you do that, usually we tend to have some better, good data coming in. So make sure to have pressed on that like button because that brings some luck. And then also open up the poll. Let me know what you guys think is going to happen. What do you guys think is going to be the result of today's CPI print? Is it going to be bullish or bearish? And there we go. We have 1 minute left. We are live with almost 300 people. Glad to have you all guys in here. Make sure to push up that like button. I mean, show a bit of gratitude, right? No, but definitely let me know in the live chat also what you're going to be expecting, and it can come in any moment now. It's still a few seconds away. Open up the clock. Yeah, 10 seconds away. There we go. It is time. Okay, we're seeing a pump. We're seeing a pump. Come on, refresh it. It's 3%. Both 3%. What? 3% both. Oh, but the estimated for both was 3.1. Okay. So, I mean, 3% still. Okay, but it's not that big of a deal, but still very nice. Very nice, okay? What is Bitcoin doing? Okay, Bitcoin tagging the upper side. Okay, let's see. We are running into some resistance. Data is out. Data is bullish. Let's see. Let's see. I mean, we're pumping through. I did not expect this. Okay, I did not expect this. I mean, we have had some other economic events in the past where I didn't expect it, and we just blasted through. But honestly, oh yeah, we're already getting resisted right now. Honestly, most of these times it is a pump and dump. So, I mean, I hope we can go even higher, but it is holding up quite well, though, right? It is holding up quite well. Okay, that's very nice. 116k. What? 116k. Yeah, let's see if Ethereum can hold up this level. We're definitely breaking outside of some downtrend here. So that's very, very nice. Let's see if Ethereum can show a continuation from here. Anyways, by the way, if you are interested in trading, well then check out the second link down below because there's this new campaign right now over on Weeks where you can claim literally 50% deposit bonus, okay? 50% on whatever you deposit, you're gonna get back on like the first $100, and afterwards also some big deposit bonuses. So yeah, make sure to check that one out with the second link down below. Ethereum is struggling really to get back above that 4K level, right? Let's see. I mean, our community did get it right. Will the CPI be bullish or bearish? 70% was bullish. So we did get it right, right? So we are going higher before FOMC. I mean, pretty likely another rate cut is going to be on the table, and probably QT is going to be ending. So I wouldn't be surprised indeed to see a bit more of a further pump and continuation to the upside leading up to this event, indeed. $4,200, I reckon, is programmed within the next 8 hours. I mean, I would say it's 4,100 first, right? 4,100 here, this level of resistance. After that, if we break that, it's 4.3K, the upper side of the range. Alt's moving bullish, yeah, because Ethereum is also moving pretty nicely. And I mean, if QT indeed is going to be ending, well, that's going to be very, very bullish for alts. For alts, it's going to be extremely bullish. Why hasn't it been posted on my page? Usually it's always first, but now I need to get back on this. Benjamin Cowan talked about QE not being bullish as people expect. I mean, maybe for the short term, but ultimately more money in the markets will lead into a bullish continuation, right? It's going to be bullish for the markets, most definitely. Let's have a look. QE is a sign of the economy is fucked, so it's not bullish. It's exit liquidity. I mean, yes, 100%, but that's also the same case with the rate cuts, and I've talked about that extensively, right? I've said very often that probably these initial rate cuts, they're gonna cause for a collapse, right? Because they're a sign of that the economy is recessionary. Now, usually the markets do not care beforehand, but once we actually come into that recession, well, then they're gonna care, and then it's already too late. Bull trap, let's see. Bitcoin is testing our level of resistance quite perfectly. Quite perfectly right over here. I think since 70k BTC has been going parabolic while everyone was waiting for it. Since 70k, it's not been going parabolic since that level. It's been actually slowing down more or less. It's been seeing a loss of momentum. I mean, this push was still very strong, right? But this push was weaker. And then this one was a lot weaker. And then this one was a lot weaker. It's been seeing a loss of momentum, right? It's signaling a slowdown. I mean, Julius, see, I mean, if you've been following me for a longer time, you know that I'm in bearish before that even. However, I'm still optimistic about the short term that in this last part of the cycle, we can still see higher prices for altcoins. Okay. So, I mean, this is a classical example because today I talked about this. Or still optimistic on the Bitcoin price action. Now, many people will call it flip-flopping because the one day I'm talking very bullish in my thumbnail and title, the other day I'm very bearish. And yes, if you only judge by the thumbnail and titles, I understand why it looks that way. But I think that is a completely surface level take. Anyone who actually watches my videos all the way through knows that I've been one of the most consistent analysts on the entire platform. I have called the last bull market top. You can go to my I mean, basically, I've already been bearish, or like I wouldn't even call it bearish. I'm not even bearish now, but I've been mindful about the Bitcoin top literally since its entire period here, since the last 100 days, okay? And even before that, during this period here, during the 90k level, 80k level, I've been vocally very bullish, but I have been saying that we are going to be entering a bear market by the end of the year. Okay, I've been saying it also during this stage over here, the 100k level. In the coming few months, we are indeed going to be entering a bear market. So make sure to take your profits in this last part of the cycle. It is just I got distracted over here by the chat, but yeah. So I've been very consistent about my analysis. I have been saying beforehand already that I will start to get bearish or somewhat more careful at the tops, and right now we are reaching that period. So, I mean, yeah. Yeah, you have a parabolic run on the price. It just ends now. Indeed, it's broken down below. Now, you could redraw it like this. Okay, you could definitely do that, and I would say it's still very valid. In this case, it's still very, very valid. I'm just not redrawing it like that because it fits into my narrative. It fits in my narrative of the 4-year cycle. It fits into the narrative of the on-chain indicators. It fits into the narrative of the apparent demand, seeing bearish divergences. Fits in of the narrative of still seeing a bit of an altcoin run. Fits in of all of my narratives of, for example, this Wyckoff distribution at the exact top. But so that's why I will not change it. But you could do it if you're still bullish. I get why you would still be bullish. I get it. I 100% get it. With gold reaching these new optimized, searching to the upside, with money most likely going to be flowing back into Bitcoin, with us still trading above the 50 weekly moving average. I get why you should still want to be bullish over here. Why? There are definitely countless bullish reasons, and that is also exactly the reason why I'm not bearish and why I'm still optimistic about Bitcoin. I'm still optimistic about new optimized. I'm still optimistic. I'm still bullish. I mean, if you've been watching my videos, I'm still bullish. It is just that I'm very aware of the signals, of the bearish signals that we're seeing, and I'm very aware that we could be topping and reaching a top anytime soon. Good traders don't get stuck on narratives they made. Indeed, like I just said, indeed, this fits my narrative better. But this is also what I said during today's video, because I literally don't get stuck into any narrative. I reflect on my analysis every day. I have a look into the new price data, so it might change by literally days, my narrative and my thesis, my analysis. That is what makes a good trader. So, and also my narrative isn't stuck on one thesis. I'm very adaptive of the markets. If we break above the 113K, I expect these new all-time-highs, right? Because then markets will break bullish again. For example, if we have a look into this stage over here, okay, you might argue that over here we have already hit the bull market top, right? But we weren't trading inside of the bear market until we were breaking below 50 weekly moving average. But over here, we still got a dead cat bounce, and then we rolled into a bear market. So we might be seeing the same exact thing as if we cannot break above the bull market, bear market support band. If we cannot break back above this level, we might have a look into a similar situation, just like we have seen right over here, okay, where we couldn't break above the bull and bear market support band. Instead, we got a rejection and we went lower, okay? So if we cannot break back above that level, well then probably we're gonna end up lower, okay? Same happened in 2017, okay? We got a test of the 50 weekly moving average, tried to break back above the bull market, bear market support band. We couldn't, we moved lower, okay? So, yeah. That is why I'm still optimistic if we break above this level. If we cannot break above this level, we need to have a look into the retest and then see whether we can break back above it again, like that, or if we fall down below and then wait for the retest of the 50 weekly moving average, and then we're gonna roll over, okay? That's how the markets usually work. Probably into this level or this level, I do expect. Maybe even all the way to this level. Let's see. These are definitely going to... Here over here, during this range here, this is going to be like such a generational good buying opportunity. Okay, like if you would see something like that, it's gonna be generational buy over here. It's gonna be insane to buy at these lows. I mean, you should see it as a gift in disguise, my opinion. So yeah, that's basically how you should play it. That's how I'm playing it. And yeah, I'm all in for it. I'm all here for it. For this scenario to play out. Any of the scenarios to play out. I mean, if we're gonna see an extended cycle, as long as we remain above the 50-week average, if we're gonna see an extended cycle with us just pushing and going parabolic here, I mean, I'm all in for that. I mean, if we're gonna see something like that, you would not hear me complain at all. As long as we stay above this moving average, I will still remain bullish, okay? And I'm still in the market as long as we trade above this moving average. So that's how I utilize both sides, right? Both the bullish and bearish side. My clear strategies, having a look into history, having a look into what has happened in the past, etc., right? By clear stops. Hello stream, welcome. Bitcoin all-time-high will be 137K. How do you know exactly what the exact all-time-high will be in advance? What is your strategies in lower time frame? Don't really have strategies in the lower time frames. Lower time frames are usually much more manipulated than the higher time frames. So lower time frames, it's a lot harder, and you should be like, you can trade shorter time frames, but you should be a lot more structural about your trades, and it's a lot harder in my opinion. Because in the long term, it's just if you know the trend is going to be up, and you're still gonna make new highs because the market isn't looking exhausted yet, well then you just only need to long and you're gonna be right. It's that easy, right? And then if you have a look into the short term, into the 1 minute, well, if you're scalping and technically you were trading in the downtrend here, you touch this level of resistance, you absolutely got wrecked by this news that just came in, right? And then, yeah, like that's basically how it works. And for example, this breakout here, you got a breakout from resistance, break above 4.1k, and if you long that, you got absolutely wrecked. That's basically in the shorter time frames. No way to get to QE. They would need to cut rates to 0 first. I mean, I'm not saying we are starting QE. I'm not saying we are gonna start QE now. I haven't said that anywhere. I'm rather saying that it's not gonna start anytime soon. But QT is going to be ending. Okay. There's a huge difference in that. What time frames do you prefer to stick to for Bitcoin trades, like weekly, daily? Maybe 4 hour for confirmation. Don't worry, I talked to Powell yesterday. He will cut rates next week and start QE. Well, that's absolutely amazing. We've got the insider information here, guys. On Ethereum, price is looking compressed between the bull market support band and EMAs. Like, what EMAs are you having a look into? The 50 weekly moving average is still looking all good, right? I mean, I would still say as long as it holds above the bull market support band here, it's all good. Or like as long as we hold above 3.4, which is this very important level of support I've drawn, right? Well, it's still all good. From my portfolio, I've already been taking profits. from my hodl positions. I've already been taking a lot of profits. But my swing trades, these trades here with leverage, it's a lot less risky to hold them during the end stage of the market because the margin is a lot lower. Okay, the margin is a lot lower because you're using leverage. So yeah. Only emergency rate cards can allow sooner QE, but you don't want this. I mean, if you enter a bear market, if you enter a bear market of a year, right? It would be until then early 2027. Well, then usually because we might enter it because of a recession, right? You're gonna see QE start probably at around the bottom because the recession is getting out of hand, right? So yeah. For sure, I'm happy with QT ending. I mean, I've never said that QE is gonna start now. Anyways, guys, with that being said, yeah, I will end the stream for today. I mean, we have seen a nice pump and dump again. Very nice. Let's see what will be brought afterwards, if we will continue or not. I mean, we have tested our resistance here. Okay, was nothing all too major today. Tested our resistance here. Probably, in my opinion, further consolidation here. Until then, next week, see a big breakout. Anyways, yeah, make sure to be subscribed to my YouTube channel. Stay up to date by that. Join the Platinum group with the first link down below. And yeah, trade, claim this huge deposit bonus with the second link down below. There's a new deposit bonus right now active over on weeks with a 50% deposit bonus. So 50% on whatever you deposit, you're going to get back over on weeks. So make sure to check that one out and trade over on weeks. And then with that being said, guys, I'll see you in another update video tomorrow.